Hey, and we are back. Shaysayss Radio, 2 S's, not 1, here on Party 101.9, home of the throwbacks, and the iHeartradio platform. And it's the 8 o'clock hour, so you know what that means. We are doing our interviews because we have some dope people in the building today. And one of our interviews is with Miss Xandra B. Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Xandra B?
Xandra B.
Xandra B. Okay, all right. So, first and foremost, I just want to know, what does this name mean? Does it have like a meaning behind it?
Yeah, so Xandra is just short for my full name, Alexandra, was given at birth.
Cool, okay. You know, like, usually people do, like, Alex, but, like, I never thought of, like, Xandra. That's actually, like, really dope.
Yeah, just decided it was something different, and
Right.
I consider myself a unique individual, so why not have a unique name?
Got you. So what is, like, your cultural background?
I'm a big mix. Ukrainian, Italian,
Nice.
Irish, you name it.
Nice. Okay, cool. So what got you into acting?
So from that point of just sort of starting and booking, it just kept growing. And then from there, I got more formal training with acting and was lucky enough to start landing more film shows as well as theater.
Nice. So, did you go to school?
I did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So how was the process of that? Because I know, like, it's really hard to be an actor, you know, and even, like, just succeeding as an actress. So what was the process of, like, schooling? And would you advise anybody to go to school for this?
I think it's absolutely possible to get a degree while pursuing acting or dancing or really any art form, for sure. It just takes a lot of scheduling and really making sure that you're on top of your game all the time. I personally am a graduate of Alvin Ailey and Fordham University.
Nice. Okay.
So I have a BFA in dance from there.
Cool.
And I'm currently actually seeking out my master's through Johns Hopkins University while doing acting.
That's dope.
So it's definitely a balancing game, but it's
Yeah.
definitely doable, for sure.
That's dope. So how did you get into the CBS family? That is super hard to do, and like, kudos to you for even doing that, honestly. Like, that's really amazing. How did you get into this family?
CBS has been wonderful to work under, and it's been a great network, and it's turned into a really great family.
Mm-hmm.
I started out, my first job actually was for Netflix, for friends from college, and then it kind of kept building, and I ended up in the CBS circuit, and I just kept being asked for different day playing roles until I became a member of FBI's core group, which now we see each other a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So, what was your experience on FBI? Well, what was your character first, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm an agent in a lot of the office scenes in FBI,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to work with a large group of what they call core.
Okay.
And so a lot of us see each other quite often, not just on FBI, but on other shows, and it's been really great. It's like a family,
Mm-hmm.
and so we all work together on similar scenes each week, but they all definitely have varying little innuendos to them.
So, what is like your top show that you would love to be on, if you could?
If I could, right now, I'll be honest, FBI has just been a dream. Last season, I was in episode, I believe it was 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually playing a victim, so to
Oh,
be able to
wow.
come back a lot more regularly for each episode,
Yeah.
and to be able to be an agent in the core group was absolutely a dream come true.
So, will you be appearing on like more episodes or even just more shows?
Definitely.
Oh, okay. Give us the exclusive, girl. You know, like what's
Yes,
going on? What's
I
the tea?
have been filming a ton of different TV shows
Nice.
for this season, actually more than I can count at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really lucky in that aspect with booking,
Mhm.
and I have to thank all the casting directors for sure on that one.
That's dope.
FBI, you can see me on every week, at least for now,
Okay.
for this season. And coming up, I definitely do have a couple other video projects in the works as far as different movies and feature films and things like that.
Dope. Okay, well, I'm super excited to see it, and excited to see what you have, like, coming up as well. Like, what is the difference between, because obviously we're looking for New Year's resolutions coming up now, right?
Definitely.
What are your goals for 2020?
My goals are really to just show people that you can do it all, and you are able to overcome obstacles, whatever those obstacles might be, and that you can do that while going after a career, and it's okay if you have different obstacles. And I think personally, just really representing strength and being able to talk about different issues like that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to doing more in 2020 as an advocate, and also just to keep pushing forward and working towards even more principal roles for sure.
So would you say that there has been like a whole growth between the 2019 Xandra B and what's to come for 2020?
Absolutely. I think personally I've grown exponentially, especially within the past few months, overcoming obstacles on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And I can definitely see a lot more growth and a lot of exciting new opportunities coming in 2020.
Got you. And may I ask, what is one thing that you've learned, like, about yourself, actually, or even, like, your career so far within 2019?
I've learned so much. I think if I had to pick one thing, it would be that there's definitely an inner strength and definitely an inner hope, and that regardless of what people might come to me with, whether it's something positive or negative, I'm able to handle it. And whatever that means in order to handle it, it's handled. And I think having such a great support group from Jazzy over here, as well as...
Shout out to Petals of Noir.
Yes, as well as so many other great people around me. It's definitely helped me to realize that and to come out of my shell more. As a kid, I was quite quiet, so to be able to do acting every day takes a lot of strength and a lot of growth on that end.
No, I definitely agree, like, especially, like, from being a quiet person to, like, being on TV and, like, you know, like, it's really a drastic change. So that's really actually amazing to do.
Definitely.
But I would say that, you know, you used to talk about, like, your inner strength and being, like, you're, like, a dancer, you're a actor, you're a Jane of many trades, you know, like, I heard that's a new thing. Instead of Jack of all trades, it's Jane of all trades.
Yes,
so,
I heard about that.
Yeah, I just found out today, so I was like, okay, this is something new. But what are some advice that you can give to, like, other actors that are trying to get themselves out there, you know, that are, like, going, or, like, even dancers that are trying to become the next big thing, that are actually kind of struggling with trying to find, like, battling within the industry. You know, like, the industry is very hard to be accepted in or even to maneuver in. So what is some advice that you could give to these kind of people?
Definitely. I think I was really fortunate enough kind of on the beginning of my professional journey to have been told actually by a teacher in a ballet classroom at Adelphi University that if you feel alone, most likely you're doing something right. Nice. And I think a lot of times in the industry you might feel alone just because simply you're going to the beat of your own drum. And sometimes that can be hard because there's friendships that might fizzle out, they might come back, people try and get in the middle of things maybe that they shouldn't be. Right. But I think absolutely that was one of the best pieces of advice that I could have possibly been given, and that I would definitely give to somebody. And just to keep shining, regardless of all the naysayers, for sure.
Yes, keep shining. I like that. That's definitely a motto to follow, you know?
Definitely. And I think for dancers, at least the way I see it, is there's a step in dance called a frappe, and it's essentially where you strike the floor.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. I'm not gonna hold you, the frappe.
And I think it's kind of like that saying, like, life is like a box of chocolates. Like, no, like, life is like a frappe combination, or like a ballet combination. You don't really know what the teacher is going to give you before they give it to you, and you don't really know exactly how it's going to turn out until the end. But you keep pushing forward, and you stay on the stage until the end.
Nice, nice. So, like I said, you're a Jane of all trades. You're a dancer, you're a model, a figure skater.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Absolutely.
When I saw figures, I was like, what? I was like, yes. Okay. So what got you into doing figure skating?
Figure skating was actually where my start was.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was really small, like 3 or 4 years old, the Olympics was playing, national figure skating on the TV all the time at my house, and I just would, like, point to the screen and say, I want to do that.
Nice.
And so in kindergarten, that's what I did, and I became a competitive skater not long after that, and it took off. And by that I mean I was gosh, I think in 3rd grade, and I was performing at Nassau Coliseum in front of all sorts of people, and alongside Sarah Hughes. So there was just so many different opportunities that came my way, to representing New York, being the only person to in a national competition. And so I would say that's definitely where I got my start, and a lot of the lessons I learned were from my skating coaches, for sure.
Oh, that's really dope. So, you know, I wish I could figure skate, honestly. I can't even roller skate. Like, that's how bad it is.
And so I like to kind of mesh things and take and give, because I think that makes it the most authentic.
That's amazing. Wow. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
We were talking about a lot of things that's been trending this week, and one of the topics that we were talking about on Shaysayss was Jordin Sparks. I don't know if you heard of the story with Jordin Sparks and her husband.
Yes.
So, for those of you guys listening now, basically Jordin Sparks, her husband posted a picture with his best friend, and a lot of people were going crazy because the caption made it seem as if, like, Jordin Sparks doesn't really live up to what his best friend can. You know, like, I'll reread you guys exactly the status that we had for him. 1 second, sorry. But it's basically saying, like, not many people can get me out the house at 10:30. Not many people can make me smile this big. You know, like, not many people can make me, like, basically saying that not many people can do this, but she can. And a lot of people, you know, the public, how they react to these kind of things. So I just want to know your point of view on this. And my question is, would you care if your spouse had a girl best friend? And how do you feel about the way everyone reacted to Jordin Sparks' husband's post?
You know, it's interesting. I don't personally love to be, like, in the middle of drama, but what I would say is that it's really a situation that I feel doesn't necessarily need to be handled on social media.
Okay.
It's something where everybody's going to have their own opinion, their own side of the story. But what's important is what the 2 people in the couple have to say about it.
Nice.
And they need to be in communication and to have that understanding. So I don't feel that it's my place to judge anybody, let alone a celebrity who has everybody judging them, for sure. But I definitely feel like, at least from my own personal experience, you need to have that trust with the partner, and also that conversation of where are my boundaries, where are my limits.
Okay. I like that answer a lot. Yeah, I definitely agree with the same thing. We actually spoke about it before, like, how we felt about it, but I do feel like Jordin Sparks did carry it very well, too, with responding the way that she did. So I think it was really, like, solved very great. But thank you so much, Xandra B. What's next for you? Like, what do you have coming up? You gotta let the people know.
We have a lot of exciting projects coming out, I would say. You're definitely bound to see a lot in 2020.
Nice.
Pushing the positivity, pushing just accepting one another, and definitely pushing individuality. A couple things I can't quite say that are in the works. Okay. However, I will definitely say that there's a lot to come in the realm of fashion, videos, as well as potentially movies and TV in the near future.
Oh, and fashion meaning like a fashion line? Because, you know, you came with the pink fur, and I was like, oh.
We might be having some little hints come out on social media in the near future.
Okay,
so definitely keep checking the Instagram for sure.
Yes, and what is your social platforms?
So I mostly operate with Instagram. I love the images, everything with that. So it's I am Xandra B with an _.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Shout out to Petals of Noir again for this amazing interview. And guys, this has been Shaysayss, 2 S's not 1, here on Party 101.9, home of the throwbacks and the iHeartradio platform.